Hi everyone, and welcome to the part 13 of the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner series. So, without further ado, let's get started with the questions. So, the question number one is that an e commerce company operates its infrastructure in a single AWS region. The company has thousands of VPCs, virtual private clouds, in a various AWS accounts that it wants to interconnect. Which AWS service or feature should the company use to help simplify management and reduce operational costs? And the options are option A, AWS Transit Gateway, option B, VPC Endpoint, option C, AWS Direct Connect, and option D, VPC Peering. And the correct option is AWS Transit Gateway. So, what is AWS Transit Gateway? AWS Transit Gateway connects your Amazon Virtual Private Clouds, that is VPCs, and on-premises networks through a central hub. This connection simplifies your network and puts an end to complex peering relationship. Transit Gateway acts as a highly scalable cloud router. Each new connection is made only once, and this is just a visual representation of this AWS Transit Gateway. So here we can see that the customer is connecting directly to the AWS Transit Gateway, and through this central hub or through this Transit Gateway, the customer can then connect or access all their VPCs, as well as it can also connect to other third-party application or third-party appliances, as well as to other transit gateways. So the transit gateway, it acts as a central hub for communication between different VPCs of the same customer or of the VPCs of different customers as well. Question number two, that a company is expecting a short-term spike in internet traffic. So the keyword is spike in the traffic for its application. During the traffic increase, the application cannot be interrupted. The company also needs to minimize costs and maximize flexibility. Which Amazon EC2 instance type should the company use to meet these requirements? So always remember that whenever there is a question about the instance types, then first of all you should consider the type of traffic, whether the traffic is steady or it is there is some increase or decrease in the traffic. And second, the duration, for how much time this instance will be used. So these are the few things to consider when determining the type of instance. So in this specific question, we see that there will be a short-term spike increase in the traffic, as well as we want that application should not be interrupted during the traffic increase. What this means? This means that when the traffic increases, so as the capacity of instance, it should also increase and the application should not be interrupted. So let's get to the option. The options are option A, spot instances, option B, on-demand instances, option C, reserved instances, and option D, dedicated host. And the correct option is the on-demand instance. So the on-demand instance, it is the correct option because in the question it is asking about the increase of traffic as well as the non-interruption of application. It means that when the traffic increases, then our capacity of instances should also increase, and this can only be done through the on-demand. On-demand means when there is a demand of the greater traffic or greater capacity, then the instance capacity will also increase. So that is the correct option. Question number three is that what are the benefits of consolidated billing for AWS cloud services? And we have to choose two options. The options are option A, one bill for multiple accounts, option B, volume discounts, option C, installment payment options, and option D, a minimal additional fee for use. And the correct option is one bill for multiple accounts. So the consolidated billing, it gives one bill for multiple accounts, and again it also provides us with the volume discounts. This is just a visual overview. of, let's suppose when you have multiple accounts, here we can see that we have accounts from 1 to 5. Then you can link all these accounts to a single account and you can pay the bill through the single account. Here we can see that the paying account, it may be any one of these or any other account, and all the payment of these accounts can be done through a single account, and this is known as consolidated billing. Question number 4 is that which of the following IT tasks does AWS perform to offload a company's IT resource management responsibilities? And again, we have to choose two options, and the options are option A, setting up access control for data, option B, backing up databases, option C, installing operating system, and option D, configuring operating system firewalls. And the correct options are that the backing up database, it is done by the AWS automatically, and the installation of operating system. So the AWS EC2 instances, they come pre-installed with the operating system. So the operating system is pre-installed by the AWS, as well as the database is auto backed up by the AWS, while the setting ups of the control as well as the configuration of the operating system firewall, it is the responsibility of the customer. Question number 5 is that which AWS service can help a company detect an outage if its website servers and redirect users to alternate server. So the question is asking about if there is some outage in the website server inside AWS of a specific company, how can this be detected and the traffic can be routed to alternate server without any interruption to the application. And the options are option A, Amazon Route 53, option B, Amazon CloudFront, option C, Amazon Guard Duty, and option D, AWS Trusted Advisor. And the correct option is the Amazon Route 53. So what is the AWS or Amazon Route 53? It is basically a highly available and scalable domain name system, DNS web service. Route 53 connects user requests to internet application running on AWS or on premises. So always remember that it is a DNS service, and you know that the DNS port number is 53. So you can relate this just for remembering that DNS basically works on port number 53. It is basically a UDP port 53. So the Amazon Route 53 is basically a DNS service of Amazon that routes traffic to the AWS servers inside AWS Cloud, routes user traffic to the AWS applications of the customers. And how does this work? We can see this through a visual. That let's suppose here let's suppose here we can say that let's suppose this is a customer, and when he accesses his application, his or her application, the application may be deployed through multiple regions. So the customer can also load distribute his traffic. That let's suppose 30% of traffic is going to one region and 70% to another region. And if one region fails, let's suppose this, then all the traffic, 100% traffic will be routed to the next region. Or it may be also done that 100% traffic is going to one region, and if that region fails, then the traffic can be routed to the second region. So it basically detects the availability of servers, and whenever there is server outage or server is down at a specific region, then the traffic of the customer is routed to the next available region. Question number 6 is that which AWS Trusted Advisor feature is available exclusively to users with AWS Business Support or AWS Enterprise Support? And the options are option A, refresh checks, option B, notification setup, option C, AWS Support API, and option D, action links. And the correct option is AWS Support API. So the AWS Support API, this option is only available to Amazon Business Support or Amazon Enterprise Support users, and that feature is basically that is of the AWS Trusted Advisor. Question number 7 is that the AWS global infrastructure consists of region, availability zones, and what else? The options are edge locations, option B, dark fiber network links, option C, data center, and option D, VPCs, virtual private clouds. And the correct option is the edge location. And what is are the edge location? The edge location is basically the data center used to deliver content faster to the user. It is the site that is nearest to the end user, a site that CloudFront uses to cache copies of your content for faster delivery to the users at any location. So these are basically data centers that are physically located at the nearest location to the end user. Such as we can see here in this diagram, that let's suppose this is an AWS server, and these are the users or customers all over the world. So these are basically the edge location or edge data center, and the content from these servers are cached here. So whenever the user access his or her application, it is fetched from these edge location, and so the delivery is fast and without any greater latency or delay. So these are locations that are built near the customer premises for faster delivery and lower latency. Question number 8 is that a streaming company wants to distribute video content to millions of users worldwide over the internet. The company wants to use the AWS global network backbone to distribute cached content with low latency and high data transfer rates or transfer speed. Which AWS service will meet these requirements? And the options are option A, AWS Direct Connect, option B, Amazon CloudFront, option C, AWS Global Accelerator, and option D, Amazon Connect. And the correct option is the AWS or Amazon CloudFront. So as we studied in the previous question, that the CloudFront are basically cached servers that are deployed on the edge location or data center, and they are near to the physical premises of the end user. So the content are fastly delivered to the user. Let's suppose if we talk about the YouTube, so the YouTube servers are basically distributed all over the world through the CDN or content distributed networks. And whenever the user, let's suppose a user in a specific country, let's suppose this is a user in India, it wants to access a specific video from YouTube, it may be delivered from within India where this CDN data center is deployed rather than going all the way up to the US. So this helps in faster delivery of the content to the user using the CDN network, or in the case of AWS, it is the Amazon Cloud Front. It is the definition that it is basically the content delivery network service that helps you distribute your static and dynamic content quickly and reliably with high speed. And this is a diagram. So let's suppose if this is the original or origin server that is inside the AWS cloud, and these are the edge location where the CloudFront cache servers are deployed. So whenever the user wants to access a specific service, for the first time, it may be fetched from here from this server, but then these content are cached here inside the server. And when the next time user accesses the service, it is accessed from the cache server instead of going all the way to the origin server. So this increases the speed and performance of the applications. Question number 9 is that a bank needs to store recordings of call made to its contact center for 6 years. The recordings must be accessible within 48 hours from the time they are requested. Which AWS service will provide a secure and cost-effective solution for retaining these files? And the options are, so we are talking about storage of some of your content for a longer duration. It is basically the archival process where you store something but you don't access it regularly. You may access it from time to time, and let's suppose in once in a year or twice in a year, and so they can be accessed when required but not on the daily basis. So the options are A, Amazon S3 Glacier, B, Amazon Connect, C, Amazon Elastic Cache, and D, Amazon DynamoDB. And the correct option is the Amazon S3 Glacier. So the Amazon S3 Glacier storage classes are basically purpose-built for data archiving, providing you with the highest performance, most retrieval flexibility, and the lowest cost archive storage in the cloud. So as the name indicates, Glacier, they are basically the cold storage where you store some of your data for a longer duration, such as in this case for 6 years. Question number 10 is that which of the following is an AWS best practice for managing an AWS account root user? So what is the best practice to manage your root user account, the most high privileged account inside AWS Cloud? And the options are create an access key for the root user. Option B, enable multi-factor authentication for the root user. Option C, keep the root user password with the security team. And option D, keep the root user password consistent for compliance purposes. And the correct option is enable multi-factor authentication MFA for the root user. So since the root user has all the privileges, it is the most sensitive account and it must be protected. So the best way to protect an account is through a multi-factor authentication, such that you can use a password as well as, let's suppose, an authentication or authenticator application, or let's suppose your SMS, you can receive a pin through SMS to log into this account, including your password. Or you can also use a biometric device that you have integrated with your AWS cloud. So instead of only password, you require password as well as the biometric or another pin from your mobile device. So again, this is the definition. When you first create an AWS account, you begin with a single sign-in identity that has complete access to all AWS services and resources in the account. This identity is the AWS account root user. You can sign in as the root user using the email address and password that you use to create the account. So this is the initial account that you create, and then after this AWS root account, you then create other accounts with different role for your day-to-day tasks. Usually the root accounts is not used in day-to-day business unless it is essentially required. Rather, you create other accounts with limited privileges that are required for your daily tasks. So that's it for today. I hope you people enjoyed the video. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you and bye.